Is school a scam? Well, today we are going to find out. But before I get started, subscribe and turn on post notifications. The first thing I want to point out is there's different types of school. Elementary school, middle school, high school, college, right? We also got private school. There's a ton of different types of school. I'm going to specifically cover public schools grades 1 through 12. I'm going to start off by giving my opinion and my perspective on school because I'm about to graduate in 3 months. Most of my classes feel like busy work. Listen to the lecture, take the test, do some assignments, boom. It kind of feels like a never-ending cycle of the same thing. But every once in a while, there's that fun lesson where everyone gets super hyped and then it just goes back to the wheel. I will say there are some good things and some bad things. The good things are expanding your cultural horizon, getting better at communication, learning about yourself, and just figuring out what you want to do with your life. But I mean, you're basically doing 7 hours of unpaid labor 5 days a week until you go to college or you find a career. Plus, there are a ton of classes that are just completely useless in my opinion. And to be honest, the only class that translates to real life is English class, because we're always doing high detailed Socratic seminars or discussions. Plus, all I'm thinking about all day is just making videos. The last point I'm going to say before we get into the facts is the fact that school does not set you up for a proper career path. You're just kind of placed in a shark tank and you're trying to figure out how to get out. That's basically what it's like. Unless you've known what you wanted to do, you're kind of like, fuck, do I major in business in college or do I get a construction job? I don't fucking know. I've never tried either. How would I know? But here are some of the facts. School has an extremely outdated curriculum where they don't teach you real world problems. They teach you outdated, old school problems and old school solutions. Unless you're in some extremely woke school or something like that, you're not getting any real world knowledge. School also doesn't teach you how to pay taxes, tie a tie, change your car tire, just simple things like that. Even do your laundry. But here are some positives. You can create a great network of different cultures and different people, plus have great mentorship of people who have lived longer lives than you. They have experiences in the real world where you can ask questions to. Plus, it gives your life structure and forces you to time manage, which is really good for the real world and actually working a job. In a majority of people's eyes, they don't think school is a scam, but they think the system itself is broken, into which makes school a scam. I mean, it does make sense because, for example, why would I want to learn about history if I don't want to become a historian? Or why would I want to learn about science or chemistry if I don't want to become a chemist or a scientist?
Why are you not listening in class, dumbass?
Because I'm going to be a day trader.
You're going nowhere in life, you fucking moron. You're gonna be a fucking bum living on the fucking streets unless you listen to my fucking ancient history lesson, dumbass.
And I'm not saying they should tailor to every kid's or every student's needs, but I'm just saying they should make it more relatable to the real world. Another thing I want to point out is the lack of excitement for school, because it makes us think school is this boring, useless place and we're gonna have to work when we're older and we're gonna have to go 9 to 5.
Excuse me, you're a 9 to 5. Please don't talk to me like that.
Do all this bullshit and just wait and beg for the weekends to come and then enjoy those 2 days, and then when they come to an end, we go back to work for 5 days and then hope for the weekend again. It's just a cycle of doom.
Go to school, get good grades, get a job, work for 50 years, maybe you get enough money to retire, and then you can go travel for 2 or 3 years and then die.
Another thing I want to mention is from this guy named Prince EA. You've probably seen this video on YouTube Shorts or TikTok, and it's basically him suing the school system. And I know it sounds a little corny, but he brings some really good points. But he basically points out that school creates carbon copies of one another, so people have lost their individuality, creativity, and intellectual curiosity in general. Another thing he brings up is comparing things from 150 years ago to today, and the fact that classrooms haven't changed. And then he points out how if schools are really preparing students for the future or for the past. The final thing he discusses is standardized testing and the fact that they are too cruel and they should not be used because they do not judge someone based on their intellect. They just judge someone based on how good they can follow a system, basically, memorize a system.
Well, actually, I really like school because I have all A's and I'm going to be really successful, and you're going to be a broke little bitch when you're older because you don't get good grades, dumbass.
Also, I do want to point out, don't let someone's judgment determine the outcome of your life. You can be successful. You can practically do whatever you want as long as it's legal, because we have free will. We have free will in this world. So do the shit you want to do. Be successful. Grind. Work hard. And if the system's not made for you, then fucking beat the system, man. Could you guys like, subscribe? I need an editor. Let me know.